We developed GPS, smartphones, and incredible medical advances. We explored space, connected with people across the globe, and built a world of unprecedented prosperity for many. All of this, our modern lives, our hopes, our futures, are built on the foundation that the worst did not happen. We dodged the bullet. Looking back at these near misses is a sobering reminder of the responsibility that comes with great power. The stories of heroes like Stanislav Petrov, the Soviet officer who correctly identified a satellite malfunction as a false alarm for an incoming U.S. missile strike, show that our survival has sometimes depended on the conscience and courage of a single individual defying protocol. It teaches us that diplomacy, communication, and a shared understanding of our common humanity are not weaknesses, but our greatest strengths. The threat of nuclear weapons hasn't vanished. The lessons of the Cold War are more relevant than ever. We must remember how close we came to the abyss, not to live in fear, but to ensure we never, ever make that misstep. The world we have is a gift, one that was almost snatched away. What do you think? Which Cold War crisis do you believe brought us closest to the edge? The Cuban Missile Crisis? Or maybe another less famous incident? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this journey into a world that almost was as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's biggest. Thanks for watching. Have you ever wondered what the world would look like today if the Cold War had stayed cold? What if the terrifying standoff between superpowers had tipped over the edge into a full-blown nuclear war? Imagine waking up, not to your alarm clock, but to the piercing wail of air raid sirens. This isn't a scene from a movie. For decades, it was a possibility that haunted the entire planet. Let's explore the chilling what-if that could have changed humanity forever. The year is 1962. The Cuban Missile Crisis is at its peak. American U-2 spy planes have confirmed Soviet nuclear missile sites in Cuba, just a stone's throw from Florida. The world holds its breath. In our timeline, diplomacy, albeit strained, prevailed. But in this alternate reality, a miscalculation, a trigger-happy commander, or a political gamble gone wrong ignites the fuse. A US Navy ship enforcing the quarantine around Cuba dispatches a Soviet submarine. The submarine's captain, cut off from Moscow and believing war has already started, gives the order to launch his nuclear torpedo. The USS Randolph is vaporized in a flash of atomic fire. Retaliation is immediate and catastrophic. The single integrated operational plan, America's blueprint for nuclear war, is activated. B-52 bombers, already circling near Soviet airspace, push forward. Minuteman missiles roar from their silos across the American Midwest. From submarines hidden beneath the waves, Polaris missiles arc towards their targets. The world has mere minutes. Across the Soviet Union, early warning systems scream to life. The response is just as swift. Thousands of warheads are unleashed, aimed at military bases, industrial centers, and major cities across North America and Western Europe. The skies fill with deadly contrails, a final, horrifying display of human ingenuity turned against itself. The first wave of explosions is incomprehensible. Cities like Washington, D.C., Moscow, London, and Beijing are erased in seconds. millions perish instantly, turned to shadow and ash. Millions more are caught in the firestorms that follow, consuming everything in their path. The electromagnetic pulse from high-altitude bursts fries electronics worldwide, plunging survivors back into a pre-industrial age. Communication ceases. The power grids fail. The world as we know it is gone. But the immediate destruction is only the beginning. The real nightmare is what comes next. Nuclear winter. The immense dust, smoke, and soot from burning cities and forests are lofted high into the stratosphere. This thick blanket of debris encircles the globe, blocking out the sun. Temperatures plummet. Even in the summer, a chilling, artificial twilight descends upon the earth. Crops fail on a global scale. Photosynthesis grinds to a halt. The agricultural systems that feed billions collapse entirely. Famine becomes the new reality for the scattered pockets of survivors. Clean water becomes a priceless commodity as fallout contaminates rivers, lakes, and groundwater. Radiation sickness claims countless more lives. A slow, agonizing death from poisoned air, water, and soil becomes the fate for many who survived the initial blasts. The ecosystems of the planet are shattered. Forests die off. Marine life perishes as the plankton at the base of the food chain disappears. Mass extinctions sweep across the animal kingdom. Humanity, huddled in makeshift shelters or wandering the poisoned, frozen landscape, is reduced to a state of primitive survival. Governments have ceased to exist. Law and order are memories. The only rule is to survive another day. Decades pass. The dust in the atmosphere slowly begins to settle, and a weak, hazy sun reappears. But the world it shines upon is alien. The climate is permanently altered. The survivors and their children born into this broken world face a daily struggle against radiation-induced cancers, genetic mutations, and a scarcity of resources. Knowledge from the before times is fragmented, mostly lost. The grand achievements of civilization, art, science, literature are relics of a forgotten golden age. Would humanity even survive in the long run? It's a grim question. Small, isolated communities might cling to existence, but the genetic bottleneck and the harsh environment would make recovery incredibly difficult. The global population, once in the billions, would be reduced to mere thousands, perhaps millions at best, scattered across the least affected regions of the southern hemisphere. Rebuilding civilization from the ashes of a nuclear holocaust would be the work of centuries, if not millennia. The Earth would eventually heal, but the scars of humanity's self-inflicted wound would remain forever. This horrifying scenario isn't just a flight of fancy. It's a stark reminder of the responsibility that comes with possessing such devastating power. The Cold War may be over, but thousands of nuclear weapons still exist today. The lessons learned from those tense decades of brinkmanship are more important than ever. It's a testament to the leaders and diplomats who navigated those treacherous waters that this alternate reality remained just that, a terrifying what if. What do you think? How would society have reorganized itself after a nuclear exchange? What skills would be most valuable for survival? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. This is a heavy topic, but it's an important one to discuss. If you found this thought experiment interesting, please give this video a like and share it with someone who might also find it compelling. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the biggest what-ifs of history. Thanks for watching.
If you love uncovering the truth, don't forget to subscribe. More hidden history is coming every week, only on History Uncovered.